Hello and big welcome to the Mockingbird Show. Screen time has become a big menace in every family. Children are glued to the screen, they are looking at things which interest them in the screen. But first of all, before I go to the topic, which is how to reduce your child's screen time without arguments, I would want to tell parents something. Who is responsible for your child's excessive screen time? If you reflect, sometimes it is you. You were the person who had given them the device when you wanted some free time from your child, or when you wanted that the child should be engaged so that you can dedicate that time to something else. So it is the parent who first gives the screen to the child. And once the screen takes over, it is very difficult for the parents to get back the child, because here the algorithms come in. The algorithms actually attract us. Screen time is not only a problem with children, but I have seen that it is a problem with entire humanity now. It is elders, it's young generation, it's the children, it's people who are working in our houses, it's everybody. Everybody's got an Android and they want to access screen. And now you will see that people are not really looking at one another or seeing what is going around them, but they are engaged and they are kind of into the screen. So they are basically kind of dragged in by the algorithm, because the screen will show you what you want to see. Now my screen will show me different things. See, when whatever searches I am doing, I'll be seeing something related to that. One of my friends, she would be searching for something else, so she will be seeing something else. Similarly, children are also glued to these online games. Lot of games that children play, and these also amounts to a lot of investment of time and energy. I would not say playing games in the screen is bad, but at the same time we need to limit it. Now coming to the topic, how to reduce screen time with your child without arguments. The first thing I would say is that learn to draw boundaries. As parents, we can be assertive in certain things. It need not be hurtful for the child, because this is something which is not essential. Now if I tell my child that don't eat something which is healthy, it's a bad thing. But if I tell my child that don't eat something unhealthy, don't go for fast food, is it something bad? It's called tough love. Tough love of parents is very important, because I will not give access to my child to any food or any kind of music or anything, even the screen, which is actually harmful for the child. So in that case, we need to practice tough love. And when we are practicing tough love, we have to give them boundaries. So when we set boundaries, we'll give them timing. We can see the charts in the net, which is talking about how much screen time a child should be allowed, and then you can set your limits for your child. And whenever the child is in the screen, also ensure that it is active screen time, not passive watching of the screen. So even if they're in the screen, if they're dancing with some dancers who are performing in one YouTube video or whatever it is, they should be active. They should be a part of that activity that they're doing in the screen. So that kind of engages them a little than passive watching. So passive screen time is even worse. Also, I would like to suggest that in your home, keep some screen-free areas. Now, we can see that parents are sitting on the bed and they are watching their own movies. They are not even talking with each other, no communication. Similarly, that is what the children are practicing. They are also sitting on that same bed, but they are watching a cartoon, that nobody is involved with no one. So we should restrict screen time to different areas, and it should only be maybe in the living room or somewhere, not in the dining area when people have come together, the family has come together to have their lunch, breakfast, dinner. It should not be in the bedroom. It should not be near the children's study table, because when they're studying and there is a pop-up, like some noise or some any kind of ring that comes in, that there's a message or there is something new, that kind of distractions are really bad. So we have to keep some screen-free areas, which are very, very important. Third, when we tell children that don't engage in screen time, at the same time we have to tell them what else they can do. what options they have. So in that case, during the summer holidays, these videos I'm doing for the summer holidays, we can see that children are at home, they have not much homework, they don't have to go to the school. So here we can plan outings, we can plan a lot of activities for the children. You can actually have good family time, you can have family activities, you can do a lot of things, make them learn a lot of life skills. So for that, you can watch both my previous videos where I have shared a lot of tips, to plan activities, etc. with your child. So that is very important. Also, it is important to have an open discussion with your child. Now, why the screen is not good? We cannot say, this is my phone, I will not let you watch it and all of that. That is called, something which is very authoritarian. So here we need to make our child listen. Children are ready to listen. Even we used to listen to our parents when they used to share a concern. So we can tell the children very openly about the ills that are there, the cons of screen time. So, how the eyes get affected, how there can be a brain rot where they are excessively looking at the reels, how sometimes the imagination and creativity is blocked when too much of access to the screen happens, how they might be exposed to some material which may be very offensive for them. So here we need to have a very open dialogue with our children. And when we have that open dialogue, remember that children are ready to listen. And after having that open dialogue, you can tell them that now it is up to you whether you want to watch the screen or not, or whether you want to limit yourself to some limited screen time where you will do some active screen thing in our presence, where the parents are there. The child should not be allowed to access the screen hidden somewhere, in a corner. So you have then no idea what the child is really watching. So that is very, very important. Next is role modeling. Now, if I tell my child, don't go near the screen, or, stay away from the screen, I have to role model that. Children follow us a lot. Children are only following what we do. They are not listening much to what we say. So here we are the people who are setting examples. Now, if I set the wrong example, my child will definitely come and ask me that, Mama, you are telling me don't watch the screen and you are watching the screen all the time. So what answer do I have then? So we also as adults, in order to set good behavior, in order to make them understand certain things, in order to make them reduce screen time, for everything we are setting examples in front of our children. So here we also need to be very, very aware. So when the awareness is happening, that awareness your child will also kind of get it from you. So that is very important. Also mindfulness. Now self-regulation, mindfulness activities are a lot. So children need to be mindful. They can sit in retrospect. You can ask them that, when you're watching the screen for a long time, can you notice some changes in you? Do you feel aggressive? Do you feel angry? Do you feel over elated where you are not in control of your emotions? Try to understand, deep breathe. So there's a lot of mindfulness techniques that can be given to the children, and they can kind of analyze, because as adults we can understand when we are watching too much of screen that we are getting some kind of blurred vision. Sometimes it's like a brain rot and things are foggy in our mind, so we get a fogged mind. So similarly, children will also be able to understand if they are mindful. So we have to develop mindfulness. We have to develop self-regulation. They need to understand where they need to set their boundaries, cut it, so that is very, very important. Also, children often, tell us that I'm getting bored, so what to do? Let me watch the screen. So here you can actually engage them through loose paths play. Allow them to be bored, because once they are bored, they are more creative. They will get whatever and they'll start scribbling, drawing, painting, making something, origami, anything. So if they are given materials and they are given the chance to get bored, then they would create. And creativity and creating is very important right from the early childhood years. So allow them to get bored. Do not fill up their time where they are bored with the screen. Don't give them that passive screen time that abhi tum bore hai so you do this. So it is very, very important, and make it a habit. A habit is formed in 21 days. So here what you can do is, if you keep telling your child about the disadvantages of the screen time, that they can have limited screen time, and when they're having that limited screen time, this is what they are supposed to do. They are supposed to watch. They can do some research. They can look into some videos which are really informative, or they can do some activities with the screen where they are engaging. It's not just one way from the screen, and that habit will be formed. So for an intelligent person, it takes 21 days to form a habit. For somebody who is not so intelligent, it takes about 40 days to form a habit. And people who are really, who really takes time to pick something up, for them maybe it's about 3 months. So make it a habit, not only in your child's life, but also in your own life, because now it is very clear how the screen is creating so much of chaos in every household, in every child's life. It is creating. And I have met parents who are so conscious. In our Tender Petal Center, I would like to share that we are doing a campaign which is, like it's detox, screen detox and all of that. So here in this campaign, when we told one of our students' mothers that, you tell them that these are the, disadvantages of watching screen for too long, and tell him that he should not be watching for more than 10 minutes or 15 minutes. The parents said that my child is not even watching a screen. And we were really, really stunned to hear that, because how is it that your child is not watching the screen? She said, no, we have never developed an habit. So then, I asked her that, what do you do to engage your child? She said, yeah, he is very, very happy without the screen. So when I had a word with him in school, he told me that, ma'am, I have so many activities to do. I don't like the screen. The screen is not for me. I don't want it. So this was such a lovely example that I saw right in front of my eyes, and it was a live thing. And that is what a parent should be doing. The amount of care that parent is giving the child is amazing. Where the child is saying that I don't want the screen. Please don't give me the screen. I don't want to see it. I want to engage. I want to do some activities. So look at that. So there are parents like that in the society as well. So we need to think and retrospect, and really try to analyze what we are doing with the screen. How are we using the screen? How much benefit we are getting from it? Yes, the screen is a part of our life, so we need to have it, but how much, and how much is too much? So that is something we need to analyze. And I think these are 10 very quick tips that you can follow to reduce screen time and reduce it without arguments. Now, when the child is really angry and furious that mom has taken away my screen, that's not a good thing. That is again, rising the cortisol. It's, making the amygdala active. So here we are looking at non-argumentative and fully understanding and giving away the screen. So that is what we are looking at. And thank you for joining me at the Mockingbird Show, and I'll come back next week with more, and I'm keeping some very, very interesting topics. So if you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe to the channel and share it forward. I would want more and more people to join me in the Mockingbird Show. Let us do it together. Let us bring up a society which is aware, which is, fully conscious, and let them take their steps after being fully aware and fully conscious. So we need to create that consciousness as parents and as teachers. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you.